Thank you, Mr. Chair and members of this committee. I'm proudly here to present Peaky's Law, SB331. This is a critical bill that will
I
strengthen.
don't mean to interrupt, but I am interrupting. Do you accept amendments as proposed?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
I'm
All right.
talking
Thank
about
you.
this. Thank you. So once again, this bill is a critical bill that would strengthen protections for children, victims, and families during family law proceedings. I want to thank the chair and the committee members and the staff who worked so hard with my office to get this to a good place. I will be accepting the committee amendments listed on pages 13 to 19 on the analysis that will continue to prohibit courts from ordering reunification treatments, which are known as camps that are non-regulated for-profit businesses, where they abruptly cut off the relationship between the children and their primary parent. These children also are cut off from their preferred family members, friends, schools, personal belongings, and their communities. As you all know, I've been a teacher for 17 years, and I know that a circumstance like this can be very disruptive and very traumatic to any child. This bill also establishes more detailed training in domestic violence, child abuse for courts, as well as judicial reporting requirements to measure progress effectiveness. Members, this bill, known as Peaky's Law, is named after a 5-year-old boy who was killed by his father in my district back in 2017. I believe Peaky's Law not only meets the needs of the moment, but also gives voice to 920 children that are calling out to us from their graves. They're begging us to do something because the judicial system failed them, like Samia, Samantha, and Samara, all under 13 years old, who were murdered last year by their father, and Peaky, whose name this bill honors. This bill tells children who have the potential to be murdered by an abusive parent that help is on its way. We need to change a system that claims to put the safety of children first, but yet children are still dying. Peaky's mother is here to share her story. She fought hard in family court to protect her child from an abusive ex-husband and father of Peaky. Despite her efforts, the court refused to stop visitations, leading to Peaky's tragic murder. Here with me today to testify is an advocate, a victim, and Peaky's mother from my district, Ana Esteves. And my second witness is a brave little girl named Zoe, who went through one of these reunification camps and will share her experience in hopes that it doesn't happen to any other child. Zoe came forward because she wants to become an advocate for children after what she experienced. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Senator Rubio. We have been dividing time between supporters and opponents with 4 minutes on each side, 2 minutes and 2 minutes, but I'll give you the opportunity. For your 4 minutes, how would you like to divide the time?
2 and 2, I guess.
2 and 2.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, thank
you.
you. All right, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Good evening, Chairman Umberg and members of the committee. I'd like to begin by thanking you and Senator Rubio for the opportunity to speak on behalf of my son, Peaky. I stand before you as a constituent, as a veteran of the United States Army, a former elementary school principal, but most importantly, a mother and advocate for children who suffer at the hands of an abusive parent and who become victims of our family court system. My purpose today is to share my personal testimony, to recognize the critical role that you all play as California leaders, and to provide an opportunity for you to reflect on how the vicious murder of a 5-year-old child can influence the decisions you make and how you choose to serve your constituents. 4 days ago, I awoke to a pillow that was soaked with tears. Even in my sleep, I knew that when I opened my eyes, it would be the 6th anniversary of my son's death. Peaky was 5 years, 2 months, and 2 days old when he was murdered. And for years, I prayed for a child, and finally, after 5 miscarriages, God answered my prayers. In 2016, when Peaky was 4, I told my ex-husband I wanted a divorce. Within 15 days, my son and I moved out of the family residence due to fear, threats, and harassment. Being told, we can do this my way, or I can go for the jugular, left me with no choice. A few days later, the family court judge awarded exclusive rights to our home to my ex-husband and ordered me to pay the mortgage while he resided there. 5 months into my divorce, my ex-husband filed false allegations with Child Protective Services and coerced my son into telling a story about abuse. In a written report to CPS, the forensic interviewer informed the social worker it was her belief that my son was being coached and there were inconsistencies with his story. The mental health consultant interviewed my son and asked my son if he was afraid of his father. My son responded, "I don't want to talk about that." All evidence submitted to the judge was ignored, and my ex-husband was allowed to maintain joint custody. Over and over, I requested restraining orders, and my requests were denied. At the end of one of the hearings, the judge stated that my ex-husband, a now convicted murderer, gave a testimony that was more credible than mine. He denied my request for a restraining order and supervised visits. During our separation, my ex-husband terrorized our son. Beaky would return home with bruises on his body, refused to talk about his time with his father, and obsessed over the number of days left before he had to see his father again. In January of 2017, prior to a custody exchange, my son repeatedly asked to stay with me. As I prepared a shower to bathe him, I asked my son to take off his clothes, which he did. It took every ounce of strength I had not to cry in front of him when I saw the fading bruises on his body. I reached into the shower to check the temperature of the water, and when I turned around, my son was gone. I searched throughout the house, only to find him sitting in a fetal position behind the bed. And when I said, "Papa, come on, you need to take a shower. We're going to be late," my son replied with tears in his eyes, "Please don't make me go, Mama." In April of 2017, when I brought evidence to an evaluator, she stated she didn't have time to review what I brought and accused me of coaching my son. Again, the evidence was ignored. My request for sole custody and supervised visits were denied. And 8 days later, when my ex-husband failed to show up for a child exchange, I called the police to file a missing child report. No matter what happened, I never gave hope that my son would return to me. In May of 2017, approximately 1 month into my son's disappearance, I returned to court to request sole custody for when my Peaky came home. Even though the judge acknowledged that my son disappeared while in his father's custody, he denied my request and ordered an evidentiary hearing to be set to explore custody. It turns out that on April 21st, 8 days after the custody evaluation, my ex-husband suffocated our son in the backseat of his vehicle while my son slept after spending the day at Disneyland with his father. According to homicide detectives, my son awoke during this violent act. His first attempt at suffocating my son failed, and as my son sat helplessly in his car seat, his body twitching, my ex-husband proceeded to suffocate him a second time. He then drove for 2 hours and proceeded to dump my son's body in a heavily wooded area in Santa Barbara County. And during the homicide investigation, the detectives discovered that my ex-husband began planning my son's murder shortly after the December restraining order hearing. It took the judge 3 months from the date of my son's disappearance to terminate the child support payments I was previously ordered to pay. It also took the same amount of time for the judge to temporarily suspend spousal support payments I was required to make. By this time, my son's funeral had passed, and my ex-husband was incarcerated. The decision to award my ex-husband part of my pension in 403B came at a later date. Peaky's law is critical because it allows much-needed training to be established for judicial officers. For the record, targeted training is absolutely necessary. The judges involved, I'm almost done. The judges involved in my divorce case made uninformed and reckless decisions that led to the death of my child. The first judge on my case was appointed to the bench in 2012.
Mrs. Estevez, you've gone for 6.5 minutes now. So I'm sorry we have.
Can I just finish the last one, Senator?
I'll give you one more sentence. Thank you.
At no time did my son ever ask his father to physically or emotionally abuse him, nor did my son ever say, "Daddy, please suffocate me and take me away from my mommy." Children have the right to live without fear, abuse, and violence, and it is our responsibility to ensure this right is safeguarded. Right. I thank you and ask for an aye vote.
Oh, and we, I mean, we can't express our sympathy deeply enough. It's every parent's worst nightmare, and I appreciate you taking this tragedy and turning it into something for others. All right, we'll turn to opposition now. You know what? We'll go ahead. Go ahead and testify.
My name is Zoe. I'm 10 and I live in Carlsbad, California. When I was 8, my 6-year-old sister and I were taken from my mom while she was at what was supposed to be a quick court hearing. On that day, we lost all rights to contact with our mom, our many siblings, and that entire side of our family. Our attorney said that our dad gains full custody of us. He then kept us away from our attorney and our therapist and began taking us to a reunification therapist. That was weird because we never refused to see him, so why did we need to reunify? We told her about the abuse, but she kept telling us to look on the bright side and that he's getting better, but he wasn't. We trusted her to help us, but we later learned that she never reported the abuse. 2 months later, my dad told us we were going to a reunification camp that would help us come together as a family. My 13-year-old brother was brought in by professional transport agents. He told us he was threatened with tasers and injections of sedatives so that he would obey them. I couldn't believe how strong he was and how hard he fought to stay safe. At the camp, they read the court orders to us that said it would be 90 days away from my mom. Every time we misbehaved, cried, tried to run away, or even just say no, the 90 days would reset to 0. Randy Rand and Chris Turner ran the camp and showed us videos to trick us into believing that we didn't remember things right. They taught us about parental alienation and told us that our mom was our abuser. I would mention the ways our dad abused us, and they would say our mom must be telling us lies and manipulating us. Reunification camp made my relationship with my dad worse. I knew he had purposefully taken us from our mom. We were kidnapped and then told that all the horrible things that happened to us was just a lie. 4 months after being taken, we were rescued and made a home to our mom. We are all diagnosed with complex PTSD, anxiety, and depression, and my brother overdosed on antidepressants and nearly died. We had nightmares about the reunification camp for weeks. I would like to thank everyone here for letting me use my voice because in the family court I was silenced. Please ban these reunification camps and pass Senate Bill 331 to protect kids like me.
We thank you for your courage. All right. Now opposition will have 9 minutes and 52 seconds. So turning now to the opposition, primary witness in opposition.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Go ahead.
Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. My name is Daniel Barroso, and I come to you as a parent. I have had the unfortunate experience of going through a tremendous divorce and child custody hearing. While Piki's mother and for this young lady who came, my sincere condolences. And abuse at any level is a tragedy. But I come before you as a father who was a victim of domestic violence. I come to you as a father who spent 4 hours in a period of 4 years of seeing my children. So in other words, I got to see my children 1 hour a day, 1 hour per year in 6 years of going through child and divorce custody. There was no allegations of abuse against me. There was a false allegation against one of my family members, which kept the court process moving forward. Those allegations turned out to be unequivocally false, to which my daughter, who now is in my custody, my youngest daughter, who's now in my custody, went to my parents, went to my family members, and said, "I'm sorry, that was a lie." If I had not had the opportunity, if a judge, after 2 judges of going through 6 years of custody hearings, did not order a reunification therapy, I would not be standing here today reunified with my youngest daughter. I have 3 children total, 2 of them aged out of the court system. But my youngest daughter, who is now 17, if I had known that we could bring minor children into this hearing, I would have brought her. So she could testify to you that her and I have a thriving relationship now. She's a wonderful young woman. Unfortunately, she had to go through the process of manipulation. She had to go through the process of telling court mediators, FCS mediators, psychologists, counselors that she was molested when in fact she was not. She now knows, and she now says unequivocally, I told her today, where are you going, Dad? Well, I'm going to Sacramento. Well, why? I try not to share too many things with her, but I told her about Peaky's Law. And I found out that Peaky was never a part of a reunification therapy process to begin with. So how can we come here and say, again, with all due respect, Peaky was not part of a reunification therapy process, so how can we even go forward with speaking about nullifying reunification therapy? If we take that out of the hands of the judge, then you directly would be telling me that it did not work, and you would be speaking to my daughter who said that reunification therapy did not work when in fact it does, and she's a thriving young woman. She also has been able to bring my other 2 children back into my life. So the reunification therapy does in fact work. There were 4 psychologists prior to the one who did the reunification therapy with my family, and they all came to the same conclusions, that the children were being coached, that they were lying, they were being manipulated. And so I come to you today in opposition, respectfully, that reunification does in fact work. And I would not be standing here reunified with my child if it wasn't for those such as Dr. Steinberg, Dr. Bita Tibiani, Dr. Werner, a licensed marriage and family therapist, Richard Myatt, who did incredible work in order to reunify me along with my children. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next primary witness in opposition.
Good evening, Chair and members. My name is Shannon Seeley. I'm a licensed clinical social worker in Santa Cruz, and I respectfully oppose Senate Bill 331. I'd like to outline 3 reasons this bill would cause harm to children in California. First, reconnection therapy, an intervention to treat fractured families, has been conflated with the unique case of Peaky. In Peaky's case, the court ordered joint custody, and in retrospect, this was a tragic error, and my heart goes out to the mother and the family. However, an error in one extreme case should not lead to sweeping public policy change impacting the larger population of high-conflict family court litigants. Second, the bill fundamentally misunderstands the principles and challenges of reconnection therapy, which is clear in the most recent amendment. It does not appreciate that children sometimes bond to the abusive parent as a survival strategy. The preferred parent claims to be the safe parent, but the attachment or bond between this parent and the child may be anything but healthy. This is the parent the court must order to meaningfully participate, not the rejected parent who is highly motivated to improve their relationships. The aligned parent holds all the power in these imbalanced families. Changing the aligned parent's behavior is the most important part of the intervention, as opposed to addressing the rejected parent's behavior as the amendment language suggests. This bill would enable parents inclined to weaponize their children against the other parent, which is a coercive control tactic. In other words, it would allow emotional abuse of children and limit the judge's toolbox of effective remedies. Third, and finally, there's a fundamental problem with this bill. It would create a subclass of families involved with the family law system who cannot access the same services to restore healthy family functioning as is available in the dependency system. Family law judges need the same discretion as dependency judges to order evidence-based interventions. In closing, I'd like to underline the fact that opponents of this bill stand on common ground with supporters and that we are deeply concerned about intimate partner violence and want to protect children from abuse. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. We've had support and opposition. Go ahead.
Good evening, Mr. Chair and members. Tracy Kenny on behalf of the Judicial Council. We do not have a position on the bill, but we did submit a letter with our concerns because we did oppose similar legislation last year, Senate Bill 616. We want to express our appreciation to the author. Our concerns are primarily focused on the judicial training requirements. We appreciate that the amendment significantly diminished the operational harms that would have occurred from the original proposal as introduced. We appreciate the openness to dialogue. We're still reviewing the other provisions. We would suggest that some of the reporting requirements that are still in the legislation will take staff time that would otherwise be providing and developing the kind of training that there's a feeling that we need more of away from that actual training provision and spend it creating reports that we think are not likely to be valuable to the legislature. And we also believe that fundamentally determining training and overseeing compliance with judicial training is an independent function of the branch, and we should leave that within the judicial branch. Appreciate and look forward to continuing to work with the author.
All righty, thank you. Time has expired now for the opponents. Those who are in the room who wish to express their position, their affiliation, and their name, please approach the microphone.
Hi, I'm Connie Valentine. I'm here on behalf of Maravik Mabanik, who is the president of Advocates for Child Empowerment and Safety, in full support of the bill. Thank you.
Right here.
That's Black's.
Good afternoon, Kim Robinson from Robinson and Hilton Attorneys at Law, in strong support of the bill. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Sandy Ross. I'm the president of California Protective Parents Association, and we strongly support the bill.
All righty, thank you. Anyone else wishing to testify in support or opposition? All right, let's turn to the phone lines now for those who are in support or opposition to SB 331.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you wish to testify in support or opposition of SB 331, you may press 1 and 0 at this time. We'll go to line 3081. Please go ahead.
Yes, my name is Craig Dunwoody. I'm a protective parent and survivor. I strongly oppose this egregiously harmful bill.
Next, we'll go to line 3044. Please go ahead.
Hello, my name is Veronica Lopez. Strongly support SB 331 Pickett's bill. Thank you.
Next, we'll go to line 2883. Please go ahead.
Catherine Campbell, Santa Clara County, with National Safe Parent Organization, strongly support.
Next, we'll go to line 3061. Please go ahead.
Angela Ferdig, from Woodland Hills, California, strongly support the bill.
Next, we'll go to line 3068. Please go ahead.
My name is May Melanson. I'm a screenwriter for film and television. I learned about SB 331 from deeply researching plot points for TV with an open mind. I believe that real life should not be more tragic.
Are you in support or opposition?
Children. I support
Thank you. Next caller, please.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go to line 2894. Please go ahead.
Hi, this is Ahmed Piersdorf, Placerville, California, with Dustin Tribe. Strongly opposed. 331. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go to line 2987. Please go ahead.
My name is Laura Arney. I live in. I strongly support 331.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go to line 3126. Please go ahead.
Hi, my name is Mirna Cousins, San Dimas, California. I strongly support.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go to line 2378. Please go ahead.
Yes, Brent Rupnow, very loving and
thank you. Do you support or oppose?
Respected parent opposing the bill.
All right, thank you.
Next, we'll go to line 2949. Please go ahead.
This is Justin Lang from Santa Cruz, California, and I strongly support the Bill 331.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go to line 3015. Please go ahead.
Kevin Galloway, Pasadena, California. Father separated from my son, false allegations, strongly oppose.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go to line 3136. Please go ahead.
This is Michelle Malcolmson, survivor of domestic violence. I support the bill, strongly support the bill because of the events that we have seen here in San Francisco with many children harmed.
Next, we'll go to line 3141. Please go ahead.
My name is Rihanna Kelly. I'm from Corona, California. I'm an executive over mental health facilities and a domestic violence survivor, and I strongly support the bill.
All right, thank you very much. So let me pause for just a second. At the outset of the hearing today, I know that was a long time ago, I announced that for the Me Too testimony on the phone, we were only going to permit 15 minutes of Me Too testimony on the phone. I note that there are more callers who are queued up than we can possibly take in 15 minutes, so just a heads up to them.
Right,
next caller, please.
Line 3060, please go ahead.
Hi, Lila Ree from Sacramento, California. I urge support as a domestic violence survivor.
Next, we'll go to line 3008. Please go ahead.
Hi, my name is Sue. Reside in California, Alameda County. I strongly support SB331.
Next, we'll go to line 3149. Please go ahead.
Gigi Graciette from Los Angeles, and I strongly support SB331. Thank you.
Next, we'll go to line 3002. Please go ahead.
Hey, my name is Sarah Hunt from Contra Costa County. I'm the mother of a child who was kidnapped during a custody evaluation, and I'm in strong support.
Thank you very much.
Next, we'll go to line 3160. Please go ahead.
Cassandra Musburger here with One Mom's Battle, and I strongly support.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go to line 3127. Please go ahead.
Hello, it's Rachel Sirwa, strongly opposed to 331.
Thank you very much.
Next, we'll go to line 3134. Please go ahead.
My name is Lottie Ibstruck from Nevada County, California, and I'm a survivor and a protective parent, and I strongly support it. 331.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Next, we'll go to line 2925. Please go ahead.
Martha Contreras, Long Beach, father, educator, strongly support SB331 in honor of PK and all of the other children that have been murdered due to family violence.
Thank you very much.
Next, we'll go to line 3033. Please go ahead.
Hello?
Hello, we can hear you. What's your position on this bill?
Yes. I strongly support Piki's Law. My name is Fabi from West Covina, California, and I'm in strong support of the SB331 Piki's Law for all the children who have passed away in this.
Thank you very much. We appreciate your testimony.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next, we'll go to line 2963. Please go ahead. Your line's open. All right, move on to line 2835. Please go ahead.
Hi, my name is Jeanette Udeborg, and I reside in Temecula, California. I'm in strong support of SB331. I'm a survivor and protective parent.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go to line 2972. Please go ahead.
Hello? Can you hear me?
We can hear you. What's your position on the bill?
Great. Thank you so much, Chair and Chair members. My name is Sharina Lodge. I'm calling from Placer County. I'm with Parents Against Groomers. And I'm also a parent that had the state kidnapped a child.
Are you for or against the bill?
And I'm in support of this bill.
Thank you very much. Moderator, children. Next caller.
Please vote aye. Please vote aye.
Next, we'll go to line 3099. Please go ahead.
My name is Carolyn Farrell, and I'm a marriage and family therapist in Santa Cruz, California, working with kids for 18 years. I strongly support this bill.
Thank you very much for your testimony.
Next, we'll go to line 2877. Please go ahead.
My name is Nancy. I'm with the National Safe Parents Organization. I strongly support this bill.
Thank you very much. And let me just let all the callers know we're halfway through our 15 minutes. And so as brief as you can be, you allow other people to able to testify. Moderator, next caller.
Next, we'll go to line 3092. Please go ahead.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. What's your position on the bill?
Okay, my name is Catherine Engel. I'm from San Marino, California, and I strongly oppose this bill as a step parent and seeing that we need reunification.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Next, we'll go to line 3020. Please go ahead. Line 3020, your line's open. All right, we'll move on to line 3154. Please go ahead.
This is Tim Probasco from San Marcos, California. I'm a loving father who strongly supports this bill.
Thank you very much.
Next, we'll go to line 2538. Please go ahead.
Hi, my name is Mindy Cruz from El Paloma, and I strongly support SB331.
Thank you very much.
Next, we'll go to line 3007. Please go ahead.
Hi, my name is Elaine Farrell. I was from California. Strongly support SB331.
Thank you very much.
Next, we'll go to line 2807. Please go ahead.
Hi, my name is Erica Mamina. I'm from Santee, California. I'm a friend of survivors, and I strongly support this bill.
Thank you very much.
Next, I'll go to line 2711. Please go ahead.
Hi, my name is Tracy Muller-Gibbs. I'm a teacher from San Diego, and I strongly support SB331.
Thank you very much.
Next, I go to line 3142. Please go ahead.
Hi, my name is Milad Shaghi, survivor of domestic violence and father of 3 alienated children, and I strongly oppose SB331.
Thank you for your testimony.
Next, we'll go to line 3114. Please go ahead.
Hi, my name is Jennifer Weber, and I reside in San Diego, California, and I am a supporter of SB331.
Thank you very much.
Next, we'll go to line 2954. Please go ahead.
Hi, my name is Linnea Larson. I am a strong supporter of SB331. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Next, we'll go to line 2868. Please go ahead. Line 2868, your line's open. All right, we'll move on to line 2889. Please go ahead.
Hello, my name is Dr. Ramona Probasco. I reside in San Diego, California, and I am the co-founder and president of the Healing Well and Living Free Foundation, where we support domestic violence survivors and their children. And I strongly support SB331. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Next, we'll go to line 2865. Please go ahead.
Hello?
We can hear you. What's your position on the bill?
My name is Jessica Fatula. I reside in San Diego, California. My 8-year-old son attempted suicide after reunification camp, so I strongly support SB331.
Thank you very much.
And next, we'll go to line 2712. Please go ahead.
Wendy Pellegrini, and I oppose.
Thank you very much.
And next, we'll go to line 2838. Please go ahead. Line 2838, your line's open.
Hello?
We can hear you. What's your position on the bill?
Hello?
We can hear you. What's your position on the bill?
My name is Donna Esteves, and
I'm the mother of Anna Estevez, and I'm a survivor, and I'm the maternal grandmother of Kiki, and I strongly suggest that you support SB 331.
Thank you very much.
Next, we'll go to line 2863. Please go ahead.
Hi, my name is Mike Robbins, San Marcos, California, and I'm a protective parent. I strongly support SB 331, Kiki's Law.
Thank you very much.
Next, we'll go to line 2981. Please go ahead.
This is Caitlin Beckres, and I strongly support.
Thank you very much.
Next, we'll go to line 2803. Please go ahead.
Hi, my name is Danielle Rimboy of Thousand Oaks, California, a protective parent, and we strongly, strongly support.
Thank you very much.
Next, we'll go to line 3027. Please go ahead. Line 3027, your line's open. All right, we'll move on to line 3086. Please go ahead.
My name is Elena Johnson, and I strongly support SB 331.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go to line 2556. Please go ahead.
Hi, my name is Sunny Robbins, and I reside in San Marcos, California, and I'm a parent. And I strongly and firmly support SB 331, Kiki's Law. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Next, we'll go to line 2594. Please go ahead.
Hello, my name is Valerie Brewington from Altadena, California, and I strongly support Kiki's Law 331.
Thank you very much.
Next, we'll go to line 3135. Please go ahead.
Hello, my name is Melissa Hersig, and I'm a social worker for more than 25 years in Santa Cruz, California, and I strongly oppose SB 331. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We've reached 15 minutes, so moderator will take one more call, and then that'll be our last call in the teleconference system.
All right, our last one comes from line 3042. Please go ahead.
Hello, my name is Sherry Kiyomura from Whittier, California, and I strongly support SB 331 in honor of my granddaughter, Marley.
Thank you very much. And we thank everybody that just testified, and we apologize to those that we couldn't get to. We understand there are many more on the line. Oh, the matter will come back before the committee. Who has questions or comments? Senator Ashby.
First of all, let me just say it's really hard to sit through, and I can only imagine how much harder it was to live through and speak to it. So thank you both for being brave and being here and sharing your stories, and for the people who called in. And I know that was really hard. Senator Rubio knows the three other little girls that she mentioned in her opening statement lived in my district, and I played a pretty big role in helping their mom at the end of their life as well. And they were involved in a reunification program, and their father, unfortunately, did take their lives as well as his own, as well as a social worker who was overseeing the visit. It was a very traumatic incident for everyone in my community. And it's a big, big challenge how to address these family court issues. I'll just say that I commend Senator Rubio for taking it on, and for you all for standing up with her. I know you'll work on the bill and work out all the things. We just get it out of Judiciary and give you a chance to continue working on it. I think it partners well with Senator Caballero's bill, which she has also, that is more about visitation and where that can happen, and trying to make that happen in courtrooms so that it is less easy to get a gun in, which is helpful for the scenario that the three little girls in my district suffered. So, Senator Rubio, thanks for taking it on. These are hard, and I move the item.
Okay, we have a motion, but let me ask if there are any other comments or questions from committee members.
I have a question.
Senator DeRosa.
Thank you. Thank you, Senator, for continuing to raise this issue. And
and for watching out for our kids and families. My question is about if the has been testified that the unification treatments would prohibit a court from ordering family reunification treatments. What's if that's to be prohibited, what's the healthy substitute? What is the substitute for that would address the issue has been raised by the opposition, which is that it works, it has worked. I don't know what if there's a percentage and when it does or doesn't, or if there's just an outright no, not use it, but not make that available for the courts, but there's other things in its place that should be used.
Thank you for that. I just want to highlight one thing, and the issue that the parent, Daniel Barbosa, who is the opposition, his issue, what he shared, his story that he shared, as well as what happened to Zoe, as well as what happened to Peaky and his murder. I mean, they all have one thing in common, and that is that their circumstances all arise from a ruling that a judge made. And so I think this only highlights the importance of this bill because it's focused on the education of the courts and the judges. Now, if this goes away, and I want to highlight what this does, the order is for a child to be just ripped away from their known household. They're taken away sometimes 9 months. I know a parent who that I heard she hasn't seen her child in 2 years. There is substitution. There's family therapy. There's, counseling. In school as a teacher, I can tell you we have a lot of options, but I don't want anyone to think that if this disappears, we don't have options. We have a lot of qualified institutions that provide services to family. And what this bill does, I don't believe fixes the problem. As you heard from Zoe was gone for about 9 months. She couldn't even call her mom. She was traumatized over this, and that's not fixing the problem. So I think this bill only highlights the importance that Mr. Barbosa, who says, there was issues with his wife, Anna, Zoe. Again, I want to clarify that this bill is to highlight the deficiencies sometimes in the ruling of the court. So number one is that we needed education for the courts and the judges. But number two, I want to also focus on some of the comments made that that we shouldn't talk about Peaky and that Peaky shouldn't be brought up. The reason it's named Peaky is that I know the mother personally. She's a friend. I know the grandma. And Peaky is from my district. So I wanted to honor him by naming it Peaky. But if you look at the title of the bill says Peaky's Law, Keeping Children Safe from Family Violence. So Peaky's Law is just to highlight his name, but her ruling led in some way to the murder of the child. The other ruling led to Zoe being taken away for 9 months and tormented. And I would argue in many ways that there was a ruling that Mr. Barbosa had that could be favorable and unfavorable because he said that the child was taken away and he was struggling. Someone had to make that ruling. But to say that if this goes away, we don't have anything else here. We have therapists, we have family counselors, we have service providers that help families navigate these issues. And I'm so sorry for Mr. Barbosa, and I'm sorry for Zoe and Peaky, but once again, you have two sides discussing outcomes and decisions. Clearly, there's a problem. We're dealing with children. We're dealing with vulnerable circumstances. And whether one is right or the other, one thing is clear. We need to look into this issue. We need to educate, which is what this bill intends to do. And we want to make sure that these children are not put through such horrific circumstances. So this not only happens here, but I want to highlight also that children are removed from California and taken to other states. That is not what a child is comfortable with. I'm a teacher. I can tell you, plucking a child out of school with their friends and their families, not necessarily their home life, that's also traumatic. So we're just trying to figure out how do we keep these children safe. That is why it's called Keeping Children Safe from Family Violence. So we have plenty of good institutions that provide services for families.
Thank you. Further questions or comments from committee members? Seeing none, just before giving you a chance to close, I was out of the room. Believe it or not, there's still another committee going on, and I missed some of the testimony. And I know that I heard people from Santa Cruz testifying, and there was a particular incident there that happened last year that has galvanized a lot of students and people in that community. I heard some testify. They are strongly in support of the bill, and so on their behalf, thank you. Would you like to close?
Well, I think you've all been here long enough. I just want to thank you for your time. And again, when it comes to children, ladies and gentlemen, we have to look into some of these issues that are very serious, and we can't turn the other way. So I please ask you for an aye vote. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Would you please call the roll?
We need a motion. Oh, thank you, Senator Ashby.
Senator Ashby made the motion.
Thank you very much. This is Senate Bill 331 by Senator Rubio with a motion by Senator Ashby. The motion is do pass as amended to the Senate Appropriations Committee. Umberg. Wilk.
Aye.
Wilk, aye. Allen. Ashby. Aye. Ashby, aye. Caballero. Aye. Caballero, aye. Durazo. Aye. Durazo, aye. Laird.
Aye.
Laird, aye. Min. Nilo. Aye. Nilo, aye. Stern.
Aye.
Stern, aye. Wiener. Wiener, aye. So far, you have 8-0 with members missing.
Okay, we'll put that bill on call. It has enough to pass, but we still are missing 3 members.